Broly, Paul Heyman. If I do this favor for you, then you owe me. Shout the 5-star podcast, not the frog splash. Reporting live from making everybody haul ass. Me and Master Rule like Farouk and Bradshaw at the table sipping beers, trying to move.
All right. Welcome everybody to episode 2 of the 5-star podcast. We are here with a special guest, our very first professional wrestler on the show. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Mo Jabari, y'all. Give it up for Mo. We definitely appreciate you coming on to the show. Nah, it's definitely an honor to have you here, man. Yeah, we got nothing too crazy for y'all. We just gonna speak with Mo and kind of, get a feel for him. And this may be a first time introduction to a lot of fans to Mo in the wrestling space. Just a second ago, we were talking about how he's basically been to damn near every company, even some companies I never even heard of. He pretty well traveled in the wrestling space. So yeah, we just want to get him on here and ask him a few questions, kind of introduce him to more of the casual fans, and maybe they can kind of look out for him in the future.
Oh, facts.
So why don't you tell us a little bit about you though, Mo? Like, where you're from and what kind of really got you into pro wrestling as a whole.
And I'm originally from Kenya. I was born and raised in Kenya, in a little refugee camp out there with me and my mom. We immigrated to Canada around 2006. I was around 12 and a half, just right before I turned 13. We came to Canada as immigrants, did the whole thing, learn the language, just trying to come to something, a whole new country, new people. This is a different world for me. I come from a country where everyone looks like me. We look the same. We speak the same language. In a lot of ways, same religion, same culture. And then you come to some complete different side of the world where it's very rare to even see someone that looks like you. So it was a tough while for us to get, our feet on the ground and catch on. But Canada was a good place to come to. We came to a place called Toronto, and then moved to a little town called Kitchener, Ontario. And then from there, once we kind of understood how the country, the culture, worked, my dad moved to a place called Calgary, Alberta, Canada. We moved down there, and my life has been out here ever since. I've lived here now something close to 15 years, something like that, 16 years. So home is Calgary, and just like anybody and all of us, when I first came to Canada, I was, watching TV was something huge to me. I didn't have a TV. TV was like magical to me. So like I was on the TV every day, whatever I can watch, every day I was on TV. And funny enough, we came to the country in the summer break, so I didn't have to go to school. I didn't have to. I was just home every day, so I was watching TV. And one of the days, I was flipping channels, and especially early in the morning, I was old enough that I wasn't satisfied with watching cartoon. So I wasn't like a cartoon guy. So in the morning when I'm eating breakfast, I'm flipping channels, and there was really nothing that was catching me on. And I caught a replay of Monday Night Raw. So, Raw just happened the night before on Monday. And then in Canada, they'll replay it in the morning, first thing in the morning, like 7, 8 o'clock in the morning. So I'm just eating breakfast and I'm watching this, and I'm like, and I remember it was like a DX segment. It was like something, this is the same time where DX was like messing with Vince. They're, spray painting his plane, things like that. So I caught it, and then it caught my attention, and I watched it. And I'm like, this is cool. And I didn't really know it was wrestling. I just thought it was like boxing, something, I was like, oh, this is better than anything else on TV in the morning. And I'm watching it. And then it just so happens to be that I could never really catch it when it was on, because I didn't know that it was a Monday thing. I just thought it was a morning thing. So every morning I'd come try to watch it, it wouldn't be on. So I couldn't figure it out, and then I'll catch it on Tuesday again in the morning, and I'm like, okay, it just must be a morning thing on Tuesdays. And by the time I kind of got familiar with it, had just gotten back to school. They just took, my first time going to school. And it's funny because I didn't speak English. I didn't know anybody. The only thing I knew was wrestling. And the only thing that I caught my eye at school was all these, white kids would be wearing DX shirts or John Cena shirts, whatever. It was like, for some reason, the school I went to was like huge with wrestling. Like all the kids were into it. So like, it was familiar to me. Like I could go to somebody, I'm like, this is Triple H, and it's or whatever. So I caught a bond with kids, even though I didn't speak English, because they knew that I knew what they had on their shirt, and so life got a lot easier for me in school. Kids were playing with me, and I was kind of learning English faster because I have people to talk to and practice on. And wrestling actually helped a lot with English. I was watching, TV all day, whatever they say, any word they said, I'll catch it and I'll go try to say it, whether it made sense or not, right? It would be my teacher's job to be like, that doesn't, what are you talking about? So, but that's just how I got into I found wrestling, and then over time, it just became something that was just stuck with me. I would watch it. It was my happy place, you know what I mean? Anytime I had, at home, I'd watch it. Anytime I had access to the computers at school, I would YouTube it, whatever it was. It was just wrestling. And I just so happened, like I said, all these kids that I met who became my friends were also into it. So it just took my life. Everything in my life was watching TV, wrestling, going outside to play wrestle, playing video games, wrestling. It was just wrestling. And you got to a point where I was like, I want to do this one day. So that's the route I took.
Wow.
That's fire.
Hey,
I like that.
That is fire. I'm not gonna lie, that's a nice story to kind of lead you into the business like that.
Wait, so like you never you talk about cartoons, right? You didn't watch cartoons, so you didn't watch like no SpongeBob, no Tom and Jerry, like nothing, like Ned School the Class. Wow.
It's. I mean, I've caught it in time.
Yeah.
I've seen SpongeBob in time, but like I come from a place I didn't have a TV, so like my childhood was just me being outside.
Crazy.
I played soccer outside. I played,
You was really
tag.
outside.
It was just outside. There was
Yeah.
never inside,
That's
right?
crazy.
So then I come to this country, and then I got a fridge, I got a TV, I got all this stuff. So it's like, that's what I was. And then again, I didn't understand cartoon. It was again. There's another thing where you guys might understand this too. It's just because of how I was brought up and being outside all day, and at 6 years old, I'm hanging out with 12-year-olds, and a 12-year-old, I'm hanging out with 18-year-olds. So like, I was never really my age. You know what I'm saying? I grew up too fast. So at 12, I could have probably watched cartoons and it probably would have been my age, but 12, I was like an 18-year-old mindset. I was a grown man. You know what I'm saying?
True.
Yeah.
Like I've seen too much in life to be like at home and be like, okay, here's SpongeBob or here's this cartoon. I wanted to see real stuff. You know what I'm saying?
That's fine.
So yeah, I never really got to enjoy all that childhood stuff.
It's understandable. It's definitely understandable. Yeah. No, that's pretty cool though. That's pretty dope. So pretty much we just wanted to kind of pick your brain a little bit. You're our first guest pro wrestler. So we just came up with 3 questions apiece.
Cool.
I guess we can just do it in a row. One of us just ask one question in a row. So either one of y'all want to start off?
Yeah, I'll start off. So, Mo, I went to the 4th rope event, at Six Flags, and that's how I, first saw you wrestle. And, I'm gonna be honest, I didn't, know about you beforehand, but just seeing your match with Joe Alonzo was definitely something. And listen, Joe Alonzo, don't mess with Mo, all right? Don't mess with Mo. But I was moved by your match. I mean, that was like match of the night for me. You and the Infantry versus the Rascals, that was like my top like matches of the night. So, I started tuning into you a little bit more, afterwards. And I just have one question, and it's related to Fourth Rope. Uh was that your first time fighting for Fourth Rope? And if it wasn't, um what do you think of, the company, and do you plan on potentially working with them in the future?
First of all, thank you, man. I appreciate it. I had fun in Six Flags. It was a good time, especially Joe. I've wrestled Joe. That was my first time wrestling Joe. I wrestled Joe in NWA when he was with the NWA. So me and Joe have history. So it was kind of good to wrestle Joe there, and what I thought was probably pound for pound the best pro wrestling match on that show. You know what I mean? But to answer your question, no, I've wrestled. That was my third time wrestling Fourth Rope. I had wrestled for them in Vegas when they were there for Mania Week, and then they called me back again on West Side Gun Day in Buffalo. I wrestled for them there. I wrestled the Enzo there, or real one, and then the Six Flags show. I was actually supposed to be on their show that they just did in WrestleCade, and just timing wise, and me having to fly that far because I had a show the following day in Winnipeg, it just couldn't logistically work. So I just said, "Hey guys, thank you, but I'll do another one later on." But those guys are great, man. They got this. They got a lightning bolt in a jar. They caught it, and they know what they're doing. And not only that, but they're thinking outside the box. A lot of wrestling companies think just wrestling, and it's kind of tough to just think wrestling because there's so much wrestling out there. So there's no way you can just think wrestling and be better than A, B, C, D. You know what I'm saying? Especially, for example, even in New Jersey, there's so much wrestling in the New York area, New Jersey area, that there's no way you're going to have a company come in there and just think wrestling and do great. You know what I mean? These guys are thinking outside the box. They're thinking, especially because they're rappers, they're in the music industry, they brought their industry and then put wrestling in it. So it's two different fan bases. And you're getting music fan base that typically doesn't watch wrestling regularly, but have seen wrestling, right? And then you're getting regular wrestling fans that are there for the wrestlers, that are seeing their music and just the environment that they're creating with the performances, the wrestlers, the merchandise, just everything. It's great, man. They know what they're doing, and Smoke and Wes play two different roles, and they do great. Smoke plays the backstage role. He's the guy that books the matches. He sits back there like, whatever you would call it, the gorilla position. He sits there. He got the headsets on. He's directing people. He's in touch with the wrestlers and stuff. Whereas Wes is out in the public eye, and he's the one that you're going to the merch table getting merch from. He's the one that's shaking your hand and giving you that experience. So they found the perfect situation, the perfect way to handle business. Those guys. I have no doubt in my mind that Fourth Rope is going to be just as big as something like TNA. You know what I mean? They're going to be huge. It's just a matter of time. And it's crazy to think this was their first year, right? This was their first year, and they've already done Vegas, Atlanta, Austin, Texas, New York, New Jersey, Buffalo. You know what I'm saying? And Paris. They were in Paris, so it's like
True. Yep.
This is just the beginning for them, and they're just kind of figuring out how to do it. Imagine when they figure it out. Imagine when they actually figure out.
It's gonna go crazy.
They're gonna kill it, man. And they're the best, man. Not only that, they did such a great job of. I always compare wrestling. I'm a big basketball fan. I always compare wrestling to basketball in the sense of like, over there they have a role for everybody. They got a point guard, they got a shooting guard, they got a small forward, power forward, center. they got, you know what I'm saying? It's the perfect team. It's the perfect team. The locker room, you got, guys that did it at the highest level. For example, the Hardy Boys are there. You got, Gallows and Anderson that are there. You got Enzo. You got, any given night, you got Nick Nemeth. And then you got guys like me, guys like Joe, guys like Cha Cha. You know what I mean? So you're putting together guys that are done at the highest level versus guys that are coming up, and we're getting education and knowledge and experience from these guys, right? So we have no choice but to get better. The show has no choice but to be good. You know what I'm saying? So it's I have no doubt in my mind that Fourth Rope is going to be the biggest thing coming out of 2026 for sure.
So that sounds great. And I mean, it sounds like, them having the veterans there as well. And, it kind of benefits you in the sense because, you get to sit down and talk to these guys. You get to watch them, live and get feedback maybe from them as well. And that sounds great. Like a great environment, honestly.
Yeah, man, absolutely. They know what they're doing, man. And they set it up just perfect for everybody.
Wow. Yeah.
Armand, would you want to go ahead and ask your first question?
Shit. Off the dome, right? So, you say you work with the Hardys. Now, Mo, the Hardys, my favorite tag team. Jeff is my favorite wrestler of all time. He's in my Mount Rushmore. I can't stress this enough. Like, I will die and fight for this man. So, how does it feel to be in a locker room, getting the knowledge from those guys, beating the Hardys, the Good Brothers and all them? How was the backstage like?
Man, it's great. It's great. Like just like you, man. I'm a big Jeff Hardy fan. I remember being junior high and taking markers and trying to pretend I had tattoos and stuff like that, and doing swanton bombs. You know what I mean? Painting my nails to try to look like Jeff. You know what I'm saying? It's like kids growing up and trying to look like Allen Iverson. I try to look like Jeff Hardy. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's a unique experience because you can go to them. Like, for example, Matt, and they'll come up to you before you even go up to them and be like, "Hey, kid, I know you're doing this way, but if you pull back and do it like this, you'll get a lot of it." And you're like, "I didn't even see it that way." They see it that way because they're the best of the best and did it at the highest level. But a long time ago, I learned it from Fit Finley and William Regal. They said this to me once. They're saving us 10 years worth of experience or mistakes in a short time, right? Meaning learning from those guys is going to save me 10 years of making mistakes that I would only learn in a 10 years time period. Mm-hmm. I would make those mistakes and learn it in time, where guys like the Hardys or the Good Brothers or any of those guys in the locker room can save me all those mistakes and just turn it into learning experiences. That way I can only get better so fast. You know what I'm saying? Where those mistakes are erased and it's just knowledge and just getting better and better and better. And it's just, you couldn't, money couldn't buy that. You know what I'm saying? And it's not only money couldn't buy it, but I get paid to be there. Mm-hmm. So it's like a crazy, you know what I'm saying? It's just, I'm so thankful. I'm very, 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 very thankful for Smoke and Westside Gun, and even a guy who helped me a lot, the real Enzo, those guys I'm very thankful for. I got nothing but good things to say about them, and I wish them nothing but success.
That's fire.
Sure, for sure.
Go ahead, Jay.
No.
Go crazy.
So I wasn't aware of this, but Angel had told me this, that you trained under the legendary Bret the Hitman Hart. And for the fans that watch the show, they know I am a Bret Hart advocator, So for me, I would definitely want to know, like, what is it like, working alongside somebody of that stature, and like, I guess, what is he basically told or instilled in you that you carry with you daily, no matter what company you go to?
Man, Bret, like, I don't even have words to explain to you who Bret Hart is. You know, is Bret the Hitman Hart.
Yeah.
And I'm very, very, very lucky and grateful that he took me under his wing. I originally got trained by Lance Storm, right? Lance
Shit.
Storm, yeah, Lance Storm was my original coach. He trained me, and then once I got into the Indies, like I'm talking about my first year or two, that was Lance Storm was the guy that shot me to the moon and taught me what I knew. And then I met Bret along the way, and Bret took a liking to me, and Bret saw something that maybe myself and others didn't see, and he thought he could turn it into something, and he's helped me a lot with everything. And Bret's when I say when I say Bret trained me, Bret really never got in the ring with me physically and like showed me things, right? I would like to say Lance was more than enough. Lance Storm is a great wrestler, and he was more than enough. His coaching was more than enough. And I'm not saying that to say that I can never not learn more, but what Lance taught me was, it's a bag itself. You know what I'm saying? And what Bret's taught me though is all the stuff, much like I was explaining, all these that saying that William Regal used. He would save me all this time that I would have grinded and I would have made mistakes. That's what Bret really took me under his wing, sat me down and watched footage with me and explained to me, hey, if you're in this scenario, this is how you get at it, or this is how you get into this, or and he kind of opened my brain as a wrestler to think that wrestling isn't just about me and you talking about, hey man, I'm gonna give you this move. After I give you this move, you give me this move, and after we do this move, we do this. He was the one that taught me that wrestling isn't that. Wrestling is bigger than that. Wrestling is storytelling. Wrestling is artists is painting. And he explained that to me. And in the last 5 years of my wrestling career, I got to sit down with that guy on some months, some years on a daily basis. Right? Sometimes, every other week, but I am probably with Bret Hart sometimes more than his own kids are, right? And we watching, we studying, and I think me and Bret's relationship has gone and grew more than wrestling, where like now I'm a family member to him. I'm at Christmas dinners, I'm at Sunday dinners, I'm at birthdays, holidays, whatever it is. I spend a lot of time with his family, and his family's great, all of them. But we're at a point now where I get advice from him that isn't just wrestling; it's life advice. It's being a man, it's being a father, or being just a man in general. Just being a good person, what to do in this scenario or that scenario. So me and Bret's relationship has gotten and grew to be something far more than just wrestling. In a lot of ways, he's said this before publicly, that I'm like a son to him. I'm like his fifth kid, right? And that's where that relationship is. And again, I'm very, very grateful for his help, and I'm very, very grateful for him and his family in general. He's a good dude, man. That guy is a pure good dude. You know what I mean? He's no bullshit. Very, very honest, very, very truthful. It doesn't matter if you're his son, his wife, his daughter, his nephew, his niece, his grandkids, the fans. He'll tell you how he sees it. If the color on your forehead is blue, he's going to tell you it's blue. You know what I'm saying? There's no sugarcoating anything, and that's exactly who he is. And like, sometimes I look at the internet and I'll see something like Bret Hart is this, or Bret Hart is bitter. Sure, everybody has their opinion. You can say whatever, but he's not bitter, man. This guy's a multi-millionaire that has a mansion, has a beautiful wife, has a great life. He's chilling. I see it. I see it with my own eyes every day. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. If that life is bitter, please give it to me.
Yeah.
Please give it to me. If that man's bitter, please let me take his place. You know what I'm saying? He's comfortable. He's great. Trust me. You don't need anything from anybody. He's just honest. You know what I'm saying?
I like that.
If he knows something to be how it is how he finna tell you, right? That's who he is. That's who he was raised to be. That's how his father was. that's how he got into the business, and all the guys that he looked up to, and all the guys that took him under their wing were guys that were honest and told him and taught him to be that way. So to him, he sees no wrong. He's doing no wrong. He's telling you how it is. You know what I'm saying? And it's crazy because the wrestling world is so weird, man. Like, for example, could you imagine people calling Michael Jordan bitter for saying, "Man, Bron be shooting too much shots," or "Hey, Bron can't make free throws," or "Hey, man, Bron ain't clutch." You imagine people be like, "Oh my God, man, Michael Jordan bitter. Michael Jordan just bitter, man." Nobody would say that, because in that world, it's like, Michael Jordan, he's probably giving advice, or Michael Jordan has done it and seen it. It's the same thing with Bret Hart, man. If Bret Hart says this and that, it's Bret the Hitman Hart. He's not saying it because he's bitter. He's not saying it because, he's jealous or something. Bro, he was at the top of the top. He's on the Mount Rushmore. Why would he be bitter about anybody? You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So it's like funny, but I respect that man and I appreciate him and I love him. I got nothing but love for him.
That's love for real. But no, I didn't know you were trained by Lance Storm either. That's
Yeah,
insane to me. You got two of the
I got
greatest.
I
Like,
got the best of the best in Canada, bro.
Yeah.
what more could you ask
Facts.
for?
Yeah.
But Angel, you want to go with your second question then?
Yeah. And I just have to say, like, that's like amazing that, like, Bret Hart. Oh, all right. That's amazing that Bret Hart really just, had you, become one of the family, like that's actually amazing to hear. And I did not know that.
Yeah.
So I guess I want to say, anybody, and this is like dead or alive, who would be like your dream opponent, like anybody dead or alive?
Wow. Is it just one?
Or if you want to give like 3 or something, that'd be, yeah. If you're thinking off the top of your head, like a few, you can name them all.
Yeah. I mean, three's good. Three's a good number. I mean, man, as a wrestler, as knowing how this works and just the ins and outs, I would have loved Eddie Guerrero would have been one.
That's fine.
Eddie Guerrero would have been one, especially Eddie in late years. You know what I mean? Eddie that won the WWE title. That Eddie at that peak. You know what I'm saying? Because at that point he couldn't do no wrong, and at that point he couldn't learn anymore. He's the final. He was at the final boss of his career. You know what I'm saying?
Literally.
And if it ain't Eddie, man, 1, 2, 3 Kid.
Whoa.
Okay.
That's
Okay.
fire. I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3 Kid would be one. And a third one for sure, Bret the Hitman Hart. Bret the Hitman. So that's it's funny, and all three of them are like not far off, but different styles. You know what I mean?
Facts.
Bret Hart, technical wrestler, storytelling, and you got 1, 2, 3 Kid, who's just like just the kid, just throwing things at you. And then you got Eddie, who's just not only a great storyteller, but just can do anything. So you're gonna work every style in just one match with Eddie, But those are my styles. And if I had to throw a fourth in, Randy Orton. Randy's my guy. That's my all-time for sure.
That's dope.
You want to take the RKO in like a unique fashion, like how everybody,
I'll take that RKO all day, bro.
Hey.
No problems.
That's solid. Armand, you got something?
I got some. If it was up to you, would you rather be a baby face or a heel? Just in general. Baby face and why?
I think
think you would have
So
more fun being heel, by the way.
it's tough. It's tough two ways. Okay, I look at it this. I always explain it to people when they're first starting out. It's easy to just be a heel. We're talking about there's levels to everything, right?
Yeah.
It's easy to just go out in the crowd and be like, hey man, or this city sucks, or screw you, and for somebody to be like, yeah, boo, you're really not a heel. You know what I'm saying? You're not really a heel for me to come out and be like, yo, what, New Jersey sucks, F you, or
Yeah.
that's not a heel. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's tough. It's really tough being a heel, but also it's very, very tough being a babyface because now, it's like I said, it's easy. It's easy for a guy to beat on someone you really like, and for you to be like, I hate this guy, boo, right? If they're really good at beating someone up, then they're really bad. It's easy for them to be bad. You know what I'm saying? But to be really, really good babyface, it takes a lot, man. It takes a lot to be a good seller, to show a lot of emotion, to know when to come up, to know when to go down, to know what, like, the best guy is Shawn Michaels on his later career, like Shawn Michaels from 04 to when he retired,
Mm-hmm.
because it wasn't the same Shawn. It wasn't like the very, 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 very athletic Shawn that he was.
Yeah.
Right? He could still do when WrestleMania came around. He could still do one or two things, but he wasn't as athletic. He was beat up. He was, he had a little bag.
Mm-hmm.
He went to his bag when he needed to, but that guy was the best babyface because he used his body to tell us. You know what I mean? You knew when he was beat up. You knew when he was dragging himself up. It's very hard, man, for me as a ticket buyer to sit there and watch you and you make me cry. You know what I mean? For me to feel bad for you, for me to be like, let's go, Shawn, or for me to, for example, like we watched it this Saturday when John lost.
Yeah.
That ending, that minute-long sleeper, when John came up and people were like, okay, he's going to do it. And then he gave up. And he wasn't even so like he gave up. He was just like, he let go because I gave everything to you guys and I don't have it anymore. As a fan that's watched that guy for as long as I know to be watching wrestling, it was a moment for me to sit back too and be like, oh, man, you did give me everything. I appreciate you, man. Right? That's a real baby face, man. That's a real baby face that can tell you a story and can make you feel something, as opposed to me just saying, let's go, Mo, or you know what I mean? That's not really. It's very hard to be a baby face. It's very, 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 very hard for me to be invested, for me to tear up, for me to worry about you, to think about you, to care for you. It's easy for me to say fuck you or F you or whatever the hell.
Yeah.
But it's very hard for me to invest everything I got into you. So I would babyface for me is perfect. I love being a babyface because I can, I enjoy that art of doing all that I just explained. I enjoy that.
Wow. Yeah.
I'm glad you brought up that John Cena thing because the whole
Me
world,
too.
the whole world's hating on it, and I'm telling everybody at work, my homies, like, this is perfect storytelling. Like, John Cena, like me, Jay Angel, like, we young, bro. We grew up during the ruthless aggression era. You feel me? So it's just like when people was hating on, talking about how Triple H is a bad booker and everything, John Cena should have won the match. I'm like, no, he don't need to win the match. Let Gunther go over. John Cena gave everything that we got. We the reason why we watch wrestling today because of this man, bro. And he been a babyface since we was kids, dude. So I was like,
Bro,
yeah. His whole thing was like never give up, and he just had to give it up. It's his time to go.
It wasn't even necessary that he gave up, bro. It's like you got to think about it like this. I agree with you. He was the pinnacle of wrestling for the last 2 years. He carried on his shoulders.
Facts.
So the story that he chose to tell that last minute, because everything, that match, whatever, that last minute of him and that sleeper hold
Mm-hmm.
told 20 years worth of story, just that 1 minute.
Yep.
Okay. And that story was just like it's a real life story, just like it's an everyday story. We go through this as human beings, you know. We all got family members, fathers, aunts, and dads that, you know, work their whole lives very, very hard and get sick and, you know, go to the hospital bed and be in their hospital or be in their deathbed, whatever. It's like it's not that they give up. It's just that they want to rest.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Time to go.
You know, when it's time to go, you're not giving up. It's just, hey, I gave everything I can and had to you. I don't have any more. That was that story. I don't have any more. So I'm happy to go. I'm happy to go. And it wasn't so much that I tapped out and gave up.
Mm-hmm.
It was so much of like, I can rest on this. You know, this I gave you all I can rest on this, is what he said. And that smile said everything, you know what I mean? He looked at everybody and said, you know, I tried. And even if you know, in a pro wrestling mind, and if you guys know how wrestling works and everything, even that little bit, if you remember, they worked that sleeper hold for a while. But even when the ref did the hand thing, you know, 1,
Mm-hmm.
2, and then on that third one when he put his, you know, signature hand thingy and he came up, but then he went back down at the end. It was like, that's all I had left. He gave you, he's like, he had that last little juice.
Yeah.
He squeezed it. It just wasn't enough, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And he was happy with it, and he was and it was a great ending, man. It would have been cool to see John Cena win and cool, but it's like if you watch sports, it's like you know, watching, you know, Kobe do that, you know, that last run when Kobe went out with that 60, you know, 67,
61.
there's some 60 points he had or whatever. He's, you know, he's Kobe, but like that end, you know, where he was having a shitty ending.
Yeah.
He had Achilles, you know, slowly going out. He was like, this is not Kobe anymore, you know. This is not Bean anymore.
Yeah.
So I was happy for Kobe to score 60 and say bye. I was happy for that.
Yeah.
This was a thing. You know, it's like, hey, he was Kobe Bryant for us. He had his killer days, but he gave me enough. Thank you very much.
That's a good comparison.
And that kind of goes into what you said earlier too about the whole being heel and babyface thing. It's just the art of storytelling. Like, you know, that's important. You can't just come out and just be doing the flips and taunting and getting the crowd on your side. If you're not telling the stories, nobody's gonna give a damn.
And bro, that's the difference, bro. That's the different levels, right? It's, you can come out and you can do the flips and you can do the cool things, and all it's gonna get is,
yeah.
well, that was fun. It was a great time. You know, it'd be like going to the club and having one good, you know, DJ. It's like, oh, you're not gonna remember. You know, a month or two later, it's like, yeah, I had fun, whatever. But the storytelling is what takes you from just being this to iconic. You know what I'm saying? Like, think about all the wrestlers that have come through all the years, every wrestler. But it's easy for us to remember Kurt Angle, Eddie Guerrero, Bret Hart, you know what I mean? Shawn Michaels, Ric Flair, John Cena, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Undertaker, because those are the greatest storytellers, you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
It's easy for us to remember those guys, and those are the guys that became all-time legends, because those are the guys that made us feel something. Don't get me wrong. Do you think I loved watching Paul London and Brian, you know, D. Brian Kendrick or whatever? They were cool. Great guys. I'm like, shit, hell yeah, it was super cool. But if I was talking wrestling, those names don't come up to me. And this is not like, in no way is me shitting on them. Those guys were great. But what I'm saying is, me as a fan, invested and sitting there and enjoying it and remembering things, like, you know how many times I've watched those guys wrestle or many other guys wrestle. I can't remember things they've done. But you know how many times I remember Jeff Hardy doing the Swanton, you know, like it's memories and moments, and that's what those storytelling guys are very, very good at, is giving you those moments and memories for you to remember since you were 5 years old. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know how long we're gonna remember John doing this little thingy. You know how long we're gonna remember that. It's not gonna be forgotten forever.
Nope.
Like Gunther for the next 10 years can brag about that 1 minute, and his career is made. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So that's what the best of the best of the best do, is they're the best storytellers, and then the rest of them are just a filler to those guys. And there's nothing wrong with that, because those guys are great.
Yeah, everybody plays their part. I feel like, you
Everybody
know.
has role players, you know what I'm saying? Everybody's a role player, bro. Jared Smith is a role player to Melo, or you know what I'm saying? Or what's brother's name? What's the coach from Warriors?
Kerr?
So yeah, Kerr is a role player to MJ. You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
True.
He got 5 rings. He's
Yep.
great, but he's a role player. You
That's all
know what I'm saying?
doing his
But
job.
that's just that's everything, man. Sometimes it's good to just play your role, and sometimes it's good to play your role to the superstars. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Facts.
Yeah, that's that.
Listen, I'm gonna say this, Mo Jabari, you know ball, man. Not only with real basketball, but you was talking about Paul London and Brian Kendrick. I'm like,
Wasn't
oh
expecting
man,
that,
like
by the way.
you really know ball, man.
Yeah, man.
As soon as I get off this, I'm up there playing 2K, bro. I'm a ball head, bro. I'm a ball head. I love ball. Yeah.
Right.
Right.
My second question, since you've pretty much wrestled everywhere from what it seemed like, AEW, WWE, is there anywhere that you haven't been yet that you are kind of looking into maybe getting a call from, or maybe reaching out to and getting into?
Man, as far as North America, I've wrestled everywhere, like you said. I've wrestled in Japan. I've wrestled, but in different places like that too. But I think a goal would be probably to wrestle New Japan. Pro. That would be like a place off the top of my head I can think of. But as far as North America, I've wrestled WWE, AEW, Ring of Honor, NWA. So it's like I've been around, and then not only that, but I've been around all the big promotion, like indie promotions. I've wrestled all the big indie promotions as well. So as far as the resume goes, I have a pretty decent resume, and it's just a matter. And wrestling is one of those things that you can have the best resume. It doesn't mean much. It's just one of those things that you just got to keep going until your resume does matter. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's one of those things. But New Japan would be a place off the top of my head to wrestle for.
Okay.
That'd be great.
We're big fans of New Japan over here.
Who's your
Oh, yeah, for
dream
sure.
opponent in New Japan if you end up going there?
Right now, if I had to go there right now, Gabe Kidd would be great.
I was just thinking about him. That's crazy.
I think Gabe
That's dope.
would be good. He'd be a good hero. He is a good hero. He's a great hero.
Yeah, he is.
He got fit perfectly. I can accommodate or be great to his heel as a babyface. You know what I'm saying? And that's when wrestling is really great, when you can accommodate each other. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
Like a good heel needs a good babyface, and a good babyface needs a good heel. And just like everything, just a good bad guy needs a good guy. You know what I mean? It's just how everything in sports and real life and movies. That's what everything is based off of. It's a good guy and a bad guy. And if it's a good guy and a good bad guy, you put them together, it's magic.
That's fire.
It's magic.
That's crazy.
It's like, again, to go back to my basketball analogy. It's like the Pistons and the Bulls. You got the good guys and you got the bad boys. You put them together.
That's fire.
You know what I'm saying? And you got historic, forever, remembered NBA playoff series.
Okay.
Got our last round of questions then. Angel, you want to go with your last one?
Yes. So I'm gonna make this a 2-part because I wasn't aware of you being such a big basketball fan. So this is gonna be a 2-part question. To first start off, I do want to ask, what is your team, and is it the Raptors? Because you're from no? Okay.
I like the Raptors. Don't get me wrong. I loved it when they won the NBA championship in 2019, but which was cool, and it truly did make Canada a wild time to be in for that playoff run.
Oh,
Like
bro.
the whole country came together, even if you didn't watch basketball, you were a basketball fan all of a sudden. So it was really cool. But I am a huge LeBron James guy. I'm a LeBron James fan. I'm a huge
Let's
LeBron
go.
guy. You know what I'm saying? So in a lot of ways,
Repping the land. Let's go.
I don't have a single team. I'm a Brown fan, so wherever wherever he plays is my team. But if I had to pick a team where I like to watch and enjoy, Dallas would be great. Dallas Mavericks would be good. I enjoyed them since the Big Dirk days. So it's great. And then if not them, it'll be Portland Trailblazers. Right. So you know what I'm saying? So if it isn't, again, number one, LeBron James, and whether he's in Cleveland, Miami, or LA, I'd watch Dallas or Dame Lillard and over there in Portland Trailblazers.
Okay. Quickly, is LeBron the GOAT?
He's got to be, man. It's tough. It's a tough resume.
LeBron.
Thank you. I needed to hear this.
It's tough. Again, Michael obviously has more rings, obviously, right? But the resume, man, isn't. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't. If you took, which is a stupid thing to say, if you took the rings away, right? Stupid thing to say, I know, but if you put the rings aside and just put their resumes side by side, fuck, man.
Thank you.
Bron is foot taller than LeBron when it comes to resumes, right? And again, Michael's an animal. Michael's an animal. But I hate it when people try to be like, oh, but LeBron wouldn't do that, or LeBron, dude. The NBA has been going on for 75 years, okay? 75 years. I don't know what the number is. I think 5,000 or more people played. I don't know what it is. It's a crazy number, like 5,000 players or something. But 75 years of this league existing, there's one guy that has 42,000 plus points. One guy.
Yep.
Like, are you crazy? Like, in my world, if you're playing basketball and it's to score and to win, this guy has the most points of 75 years of basketball. You know what I'm saying? 75 years. And that's not like he got a better chance. It's not like he got a head start. There's none of that. So he just scored 42,000 points.
Yeah.
Right? It's not his fault. It's not his fault that he's been playing for 23 years now? Right? Or 22, 23. It's not his fault. The man's body kept up. He's healthy. He stayed put. He worked out. He trained. So you can't hate. And it's the biggest hate. I hate it when people go, well, he's only more points because he played longer. Yeah, so you think Michael wouldn't play longer if you could?
Exactly.
You don't think everybody else, Shaq, Magic, all those guys, you don't think they would have played longer if they could? They couldn't. And you can't really hate on the man for that. And again, it's not just points. If you look at it, he's top 10 almost in everything. Right?
Yeah.
He's top 10. 3-point. The man isn't even a great 3-point shooter. He's top 10.
Yeah, that's insane to actually think about.
Top 10. Like, how can you be top 10 in assists and top 10 in scoring, or like be number 1 in scoring?
That's true.
Like, so it's a tough resume. Again, if the ring thing is always going to be against LeBron, obviously that's fair. But man, the resume is untouchable, man. The resume is untouchable.
Man, I like to hear that, man. You really do know ball. You really do. But the second part, and it is a different topic, but I don't know if you could tell, I'm a big music buff. And whether or not, whether you're at the gym or, you're just, in the house or, on the road, what's your go-to, like whether it's like an artist or like a certain genre, like what are you listening to like on a daily?
Man, I'm a big like R&B fan.
Okay.
right? And more specifically, I'm a big Michael Jackson fan,
Hello.
right?
Mm.
Yeah,
Okay,
so
what's up?
I'm always I'm on my Michael Jackson stuff. I'm always listening to Mike, and then depending on where the track takes me, I'm listening to Usher, I'm listening to CB,
Mm,
uh,
okay.
Brian McKnight, Brandy, Whitney Houston. I go around the block. You feel me?
Like
But
Wow.
I'm a big R&B guy.
I like this
I
guy.
love 2000s R&B is undefeated. That's all I'm gonna say.
Untouchable,
That's
man.
facts.
Those guys are professional. And even and obviously that's my go-to. That's my every time I'm feeling it, I go there. But if I had to go to rap and stuff like that, man, I love the East Coast, man. I'm a big Biggie fan. Big L. Big Pun.
Hey, okay. Hey, big
Fat
fun.
Joe. Even my song, like my theme song. Fourth Rope doesn't let me do it, but like my theme song, typically everywhere I go out is "Make It Rain." I'm a big Fat Joe, Big Pun, all those guys.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of that.
I like to hear that. I'm from New York, and listen, I'm a big like New York, like that's
Yeah,
my number one is New York rap. So
great
man, you
man.
just named Big L, Big Pun, like yo, I
Yeah,
like to hear that, and that's interesting to hear that Make It Rain is like
that's
usually
my
your theme
team.
song. Yeah,
Yeah,
I love that song. When I was growing up, oh man, that was
tune.
getting played all the time, man.
That's my jam, bro. It's like everywhere I go out, people, bro. I wrestled in Japan where they were going with it. You know what I'm saying? It bring the room up anywhere and everywhere.
Oh
So
yeah.
Bad Joe and Lil Wayne owe me some money, bro.
I'm dead.
Everywhere, bro.
That's just so.
Oh
Armand, you
man.
got your last one.
Yeah, I do. For somebody that's being the indies majority of their career, what's the hardest part of being an indie wrestler that fans don't see?
Ooh, honestly, I think wrestling in general is tough, but it's for me. It's a lot of wrestling, and it's tough. Like, for example, this year I'm gonna hit I think 83 matches, right? It's a lot of matches, right? But I think the toughest thing is making a living out of it, right? I currently thank the Lord and thank God for it. I currently make a living off it, and I'm by no means saying I'm good. I make what I would make if I had a 9 to 5 and
Okay.
a simple 9 to 5. I make that, and it's like some weekends I have an extra booking. That's gonna be my extra spending money type of thingy. But on any given weekend, I'll probably have like 2 bookings, right? 2 bookings. Sometimes I'll have 4, 3, whatever it is, and that's my money. That's where I make my money. And I think what fans need to understand too is like when they go to these shows, these guys that are selling merch or selling pictures or whatever, they're trying to make a living, right? So whatever $20 that choose to give them for a picture or a shirt or whatever, it goes a long way. I know what it does for me. So I can only imagine what it does for others. But this is my living, and I get to stay home with my family, and stuff like that, and spend time with my family. Um, because of that. By no means I'm not rich. I'm not. I don't got a saving, whatever. But I pay my bills, and I'm happy and I'm thankful for that.
Amen.
Yeah, and you're
It's
doing
a
what you
blessing.
love, so
Yeah,
that's
exactly,
As long as
exactly,
you happy,
exactly.
bro.
I'm doing what I love, and I'm seeing the world on someone else's dime. So I'm cool.
yeah, that's
I
fire.
like this
Yeah.
guy.
That's a blessing for real. That's a blessing, man. I guess my last question. Uh, as a kid, I wanted to be a wrestler too. But didn't go my way. But now I'm into bodybuilding and stuff, and I won't lie, it's in the back of my mind. I would like to step in the ring, maybe do some training. What would be your advice to anybody that's starting off in pro wrestling? Like, what's one tip that you would definitely give them that most people may not know about starting off in that type of field?
It's bro, it's a doable dream for sure. It's a very, very, very doable dream. And for that dream to be doable and for that dream to be accomplished or achieved, you must treat it as a, just like anything in your life, just like, bodybuilding. You put your time, effort, your dime, your money, everything. If you don't believe in yourself, no one's gonna believe in you, right? If you don't spend money on you, no one's gonna spend money on you. So my one advice would be to you: get the best training money can offer, right? The best, absolute best training, because then now you're actually giving yourself a fair chance on starting out properly. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of places out there that you can pay a lot less money and get a lot less education. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So just like anything in life, quality is better than quantity, or you know what I'm saying? So if you want quality, if you want to learn the best in the right way, and give yourself a fair chance on chasing a very doable dream, go to the right place and go to the right people. And by doing that, you often attract and